Welcome back everyone, as we are currently in Champion Select for the third game of the Grand Finals of the Black Monster Cup, sponsored by Western Digital. This one is between the Peculiar Gaming team and the Wizards. I am Czone casting for you tonight, and I am joined by Rapid.
Hey, what's up?
The
How's
most,
it going?
the most amazing American caster, except for all the LCS casters that I know. So,
Hey,
yeah.
I was an LCS caster one.
No, you aren't.
I did cast LCS qualifiers basically every time they've had them, so that's
Well, yeah,
I
but
guess that's decent. I don't
yeah,
know.
I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know,
nice to
man.
be from across the pond, bringing some, I guess, other server wisdom and knowledge to a lot of these EUS tournaments, even some EU Nordic East tournaments out there too. So, gotta say, really enjoy coming over here to check out a little bit of what the different servers are doing, because it is definitely a little bit of a different scene over in North America. So my analysis may be sort of tailored to a different server, but really looking forward to applying it to the games we got coming out here. This is the last game of the evening, the Black Monster Cup, sponsored by Western Digital, Grand Finals, Peculiar Gaming versus Wizards, and I gotta say, it's been some great games up until this point. Game 3, I told you I would ask you, C-Zone. We got to a Game 3. Picks and bans. Before we even get to the picks, who do you think's going to win?
I think it is going to be the Wizards. Though I'm kind of cheating because I'm looking at Fresh and I'm thinking they're gonna win.
All
But I
right,
did ban out
well,
Zach, so that's interesting.
yeah, it's interesting to see the Wizards banning that out. Maybe they're just like, no, we're not going to let Grillam have that one again. Not really thinking that's necessarily the reason that they won last time around, but they're actually going to give away both Zed and Diana. Whew, double assassins across the board. That's definitely going to be their mid and top with another Varus. We've seen him in like every single game so far this tournament. One of the stronger ADs, and getting locked in there is definitely going to be a very strong lineup to start for PG. But we're going to see how the Wizards decide to counter out this now that they have both a very strong jungler and support.
Yeah, and I don't know what this team comp is going to be exactly. We see Darius possibly coming out. Um, I'd be surprised if it was actually Darius, because Darius is quite easy to shut down. Because basically you gank him and he loses.
Well, we have actually seen a lot more Darius play, especially in the North American LCS. The complexities, Nick Wu loves to play that top lane and has actually crushed through with it in both of the games that I believe he's played with it. I think he's the only Darius player in LCS right now, so I don't think we've seen that in EU LCS.
No, we
Correct me if I'm
haven't.
wrong.
I mean, Complexity is level 8 team. Or, well, level 8. I mean, they're 8th place, so doesn't say much. Nah, I love Complexity, actually. Ever since Pro League John, I'm a huge fan, because he's got the porn stash, which is freaking awesome. So, anyway, it's not going to be Darius, it's going to be Tryndamere, which is even weirder. Because AB
Trond
Tryndamere
on
got
more.
destroyed, and now he's going
Hmm.
to go Tryndamere. Too bad it wasn't Insta-Look Tryndamere, otherwise I'd have a theme song for this game.
You and your theme songs, man. C-Zone has like the best League of Legends playlist I've ever heard. So,
I think it's the only one you've ever heard.
yeah, you're basically right. All right, well, they were like, Peculiar Gaming's just like, you think you're going to go Tryndamere, you wanted Darius, but you can't have him because we want to try to pick him away here. And it's actually locked in, so a battle of the melee range 80 carries, Darius versus Tryndamere. I have never
Oh,
seen this matchup before in my entire life.
and I'm gonna just massively disagree with you. Darius is not a melee carry at all. He's a bruiser. He is
Now, well, we're going to see how
pretty
bruised he
much
gets going
exactly
up
what a
against
bruiser is.
Tryndamere. Hmm.
He's a tank that draws aggro by doing damage. He's exactly what a bruiser is.
Hmm. See, I always thought 80
And it
carries
could be
drew
placeholders, because
drew
someone did just
aggro by
leave.
dealing damage.
Sorry, what you say?
I always thought that 80 carries drew aggro by dealing damage.
No, you have tanks. I'm gonna do an entire video series on this. Anyway, in League of Legends you have tanks. There's two sorts of tanks. You have the crowd control tanks, like a Mumu, and you have bruisers. crowd control tanks draw aggro because if you don't kill them, which is really hard, that's why they want to draw aggro. If you don't kill them, they're gonna stop you from moving. Bruisers, if you don't kill them, they're gonna kill you. Darius, if you don't kill him, he's gonna kill you, but he's tanky. So that's what a bruiser is, basically. And then Tryndamere is just an AD carry, but melee. Because you can't really build him tanky, because then he doesn't do damage. So yeah, that's the difference. Well, actually, Tryndamere nowadays you can build tanky, and he does damage. But that's not
Well,
the
apparently we
intended
did have a little
design.
bit of a, was that a placeholder, or were they just trying
Probably,
to...
something was a placeholder.
All right, well, I'm going to guess, I'm hoping that that was either Tryndamere or Darius. Maybe they're just like hiding their picks with the placeholders towards the end, but we're through the egg picks and bans. Hopefully we can figure out what on
Tryndamere's
earth's
Caitlyn.
going on.
Aww. Tryndamere's Caitlyn.
Kaylin? Well, that's not very fun.
No, but Fresh plus Caitlyn is kind of interesting because Fresh can pull people into the trap, which is hilarious. Just saying.
That's
Yeah.
one way of looking at it. I've definitely seen my fair share of Tarek Caitlyn lanes where you just stun them and put the trap underneath immediately, and they're just CC'd for days. So
Yeah, or
that's-
Blitzcrank pull them on the trap. That's so funny. It's just like, hello, you are now CC'd for 1,000 seconds. Not 1,000, but you know what I mean. If you have a Fiddle jungle as well, it is 1,000 seconds. Because Fiddle Fear basically multiplies any other CC by about 1,000.
Pretty much. It's 3 seconds of you're just walking around in circles
Is
and
it
probably
just
don't.
3? Isn't it 5?
Nope, it is 3 seconds long.
Oh. Still though, 3 seconds is a long time in League of Legends.
Yep,
Considering
it's
most
right up there
stuns,
with.
yeah, with the Brahma stuns, right?
Yeah, with Vagar stun too.
Oh yeah, Vagar stun. And Vagar stun's AoE as well. It's just difficult to hit. And Darius jungle. Okay. Yeah, I didn't see that one coming. Huh?
Yeah, that's definitely going to be kind of interesting. I would not have expected that. I mean, we saw Darius sort of fit a number of roles when he first came out. He was tried in the jungle. He was tried, in the sort of dunk lane's bottom, and then also tried up there in the top lane, and that's definitely where he's stuck. But apparently we're going to see him in the jungle here today, and I got to say, not something I'm too used to, but something I'm still pretty excited to see.
Yeah, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, last game we had a dunk master as well in Jarvan, but he didn't really do that well. He did dunk someone at one point, but eh. And I mean, Jace is a bit of a dunk master as well, so we're gonna have lots of dunks, which is awesome. Anyway, who would you bet on? Because you asked me this question, but who would you bet on?
I definitely like the lineup from Peculiar Gaming now. Just great champions. Darius Jungle scares me a little bit, so my money is not safe by any means. But I don't know. It's really strong. It's sort of, I don't know, jump in and do damage composition there from Wizards. I'm just not sure they have the front line to support it. So we'll actually have to see how that works out as the game progresses. But that is why we have 3 minutes worth of spectator delay to talk about how exactly that's going to work out.
Yeah, so it's gonna be Kha'Zix in the mid lane and Jace in the top lane. They have lots of poke. Only just realized this. They have insane poke. Like Jace and Kha'Zix and Caitlyn all poke pretty well. Caitlyn is long range, which is nice for poke comps because then she can attack tower while your pokers are keeping people away. And the other side doesn't really have very hard engage except for the Varus ultimate, but that's kind of hard to hit and pretty close range as well, so you can see it coming unless he like flash ults. But flash ulting with an AD carry is generally not something you want to do. So I really like the composition of Wizards. I think they should be able to take this if they play their composition properly. And don't like get destroyed in the laning phase. In any
People are
case,
messaging me things in Dutch. I don't
Oh.
know what to say.
it means I love you.
Aww.
It's actually misspelled because it's ik houd and not ik hou. But hey.
Ooh. Wow.
Yeah, in Dutch I'm even worse of a grammar Nazi than in English. In any case, we're gonna have to go into a short commercial break, so I hope you guys stay tuned for a few minutes for when we come back with the last game of the finals between Peculiar Gaming and the Wizards of the Black Monster Cup, sponsored by Western Digital. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the City of Progress, home to such league champions as Caitlin, Heidegger, Ezreal, Corky, and Oriana. Here in the City of Progress, we strive for innovation and scientific technology improvements.
In the City of Progress, I'm the chief of police, the maker of peace. I'll book you for good, cause I'm not fishing, it's not catch and release. Pop you straight in your dome. Sorry boys, mama keeps the fuzzy cuffs at home. Lock you in with your tower, make sure you're acting right. Keep you there an hour, target practice by satellite. This lane is your prison, 20 minutes till parole. Go ahead, try to run, I'll put my ace in your hole.
Straight up genius, so much knowledge that my head is swelling. Circumnavigate your team, you can call me Magellan. Noobs are never in my face, my force is centrifugal. Got the answer for everything, man, you can call me Google.
And welcome back, everyone, as we do see, oh, actually, there we go. Welcome back, everyone, as the commercials finally end, and we'll be going into game. Wait, let me. No, I almost thought that everyone had a skin, but it's actually 3 people without a skin now. I'm disappointed. I just don't want to cast this game anymore. I'm gonna leave right now. Rapid, you're solo casting. Okay, Rapid is not here. I guess I'll stay. Just for you guys. Because I love you. Anyway.
Mute buttons are not my friend today.
Aw. But at least I'm your friend.
Well, the jury's still out on that one, but we'll have
I
more
thought we had
information on-
something special.
Special's one word for it.
Wow, that's just mean.
Yeah, well, I'm just reciprocating. Don't worry.
So, we actually have 2 people not buying items. I wonder if they're disconnected. Actually, it says has moved. I don't know what Carbano is doing now. Can you check chat for me?
Yeah, I haven't actually seen anything pop up just yet. I must have forgotten to feed my hamsters this morning. They're turning my computer. Okay, now we're loading in. Unfortunately, I did miss a little bit of the chat there. So, actually, kind of trying to find out, what the whole Elise.
They're moving now. It's okay.
Yeah, Elise Darius back in the game. Hopefully, we'll be buying items, and with those items that they did buy, going to their respective lanes. It's gonna be red potions. Pretty standard, seeing them out of Jason Zed, and even seeing them out of the Kazakh's middle lane. That's definitely going to be something for Diana Wadataj for.
Yeah, so it is probably going to be a 2v2 lane bot. It looks like they are moving that way. I mean, the thing is, Jace does pretty well 1v2, and Zed does decently. Well, I think Jace does a lot better in 2v1, or 1v2, I should say. So, it's interesting they're not swapping. Then again, no wait, actually it is not. I was gonna say then again. But it'd make a lot more sense if the Wizards swap, because they also have the Golem disadvantage if they play 2v2 bot.
Yeah, I mean, you can try to mitigate that a little bit by going for Wolves instead, but still a little bit different and not quite the same advantage as you do get to lane a little bit slower.
Yeah, and Golems actually gives more experience than Wolves. As well as more gold, I think, but don't quote me on that. It definitely gives more experience, though. So, did I actually soak up experience this time? I think they did.
Yes, they actually did. So they're gonna have at least that much to go on in lane.
And we immediately see why Thresh has been banned until now, as he gets the hook and has already put Tabuno at half health. Ignite went down on Matroka, but he still has more health than Tabuno. And they didn't use Ignite for it. So that's definitely a plus right there.
Yeah, very strong plays, very aggressive to just start things out. It's like, hey, my name's Thresh, I'm just going to grab you immediately. Apparently, the pause was just because there's Ghost and not Flash, and also because there's a few wrong runes there. But First Blood being drawn by Mithy just shows you exactly why. That is just, what are you supposed to do against that? Ban Thresh, apparently.
Yeah, ban or pick. That's how you counter Thresh. Nah, it is actually doable, but you have to pick something like Leona and just jump on him and kill him. That's the best way to do it. But yeah, what Wizards did, that was actually really smart. Not only did they share experience with their jungler, as we see Amazing moving towards Soap for a gank. Take over if he does go in. Anyway, what they did was they pushed out the lane, and Amazing actually goes in, misses the pool. Aww.
Well, that was anticlimactic.
Yeah. Anyway, to get back to my point, which I do have actually this time. They pushed out the lane, which meant that they had a temporary experience advantage. And that's why they got level 2 faster, and that's why Thresh was actually able to do things, because he had that level 2. And Lulu did not, nor did Tabuna.
And now we know. One of the good things about Darius Jungle is that it does clear extremely quickly. We're actually going to see Grullum versus Carbono down here. Darius is going to come in there, so it's not too scary. And at least instead of trying to get the kill by jumping on Grullum, says, hey, wait a second, there's a Darius here, and decides to back out for now.
Yeah, so vision wards all around in this bot lane. We actually had a counter vision ward from Miffy coming out, so that's a lot of vision wards going down. And well, I mean, denying vision is probably even better than just getting vision, because you do both when you deny vision with a vision ward. And right now they're gonna go for Tabuna most likely. We do have a Carbono here. He knows they can't see him because that ward was cleared out. Tabuna and Felix should be unaware of this. They might have seen him move into that tribe rush, or just be aware of it generally where he is, because they are playing quite safe. For now though, Carbono is going to be moving towards the mid lane.
Yeah, we've really seen both junglers just play so passively, wait for the perfect example to go in, and will we see the cocoon land? It does, forces the immediate flash. They're not going to try to go for it, or will they? Dragon actually taking things up, allowing Carbono the time to get the cooldowns for his Q off, but he just might have taken it up a little bit too much. Going to get beset here by Amazing. The pull actually flashed out of. Excellent job there by Dragon, knowing exactly what Amazing was going to do, and then having the exact counter to it planned out with the perfect timing.
Great flash, made me squeal like a girl, and wow, that was really well done, I have to say. And right now Tabuno and Felix are actually pushing out this lane, which is probably the best idea, because if you push out the lane all the way to tower, Thresh can't really reach you. And if you're playing on this side of the map, which is, you know, the PG side, if you push up from the blue side, I'm just gonna point it out on the screen so you have no idea what I'm talking about. But if you come in from this side, you have to go past the tower, so they'll see you coming if they're pushed out. So they only need one ward if they push out, and they're fine, provided that mid lane wards over here, so they can't come all the way around here. If you're on purple side and you push out, you have to have a ward here, you have to have a ward there. So pushing out on blue side is slightly better. Another reason that blue side is a bit overpowered, but you know, generally the better team still wins. I think Brian actually has a win ratio on that, but I can't remember what it was. I think it's like 55.
Yeah, I can't either, but I can remember watching Grullum actually shove Dragon back out of lane, so that's a little bit rough to for him to deal with. He's going to go back, and with the CS advantage, actually, having that tier and longsword, looking for a very early Mana Moon, so definitely a sort of with that double tier build, looking for crazy amounts of not only tier stacking, but also those Mana Moons picking up a lot of popularities ever since the changes. Since they deal attack damage now, it's much easier to pick them up and make them work, because you get armor penetration and it just stacks that much more, that much better with them. Now you're going to see red buff get taken away there by Darius, but a lot of patience coming out of both junglers, as you see once again Carbone hitting the nice cocoon there over the wall. The Engorged Spiderling actually comes all the way around. We're going to dive here onto Grullum once again, but it will be Carbone actually going down in that 2v1 underneath the turret. He picks up a kill.
He got that played quite hard there. That was really well done by Grullum, using the shield perfectly, grabbing Carbono back into the tower right before Carbono could get away, and because of the minion block as well, because the lane was pushed to there, Carbono was not able to get out of the tower. Grullum picking up a kill, that's very nice for him. He's now 1 for 1. And this might make him able to bounce back a bit more. I mean, he's behind in CS, but with that kill, he will actually be probably equaling gold. Let me check.
I
He's
can't help but
actually-
point out that, top lane, we're going to see the death mark go down onto Tesla. He's going to take that and drop down to about half HP. The only problem is that I really feel like going this double tier build, it really prevents the guys from Wizards from having any sort of early team fighting power, because when you look at their builds, sure, there are a few Doran's blades, but primarily like tiers and magic pen boots and stuff like that, where you have 5 Doran's items completed as well as a cloth armor. So very defensive itemization early on here for Peculiar Gaming. So they're definitely going to have the durability to sort of tank things up. I gotta say, late game, this damage is going to be pretty ridiculous from the guys on Wizards. As actually, there's an Ignite drop down there onto Dragon in the mid lane. Will we see another Q land? The Q does land, looking for the ult for the kill. The last auto attack to pick it up, and the shield refresh is enough to keep him safe, but Tabuna actually going to get hooked. There's a death sentence. The box comes out. He actually gets hit by the slow, but Flash is actually back out of there. Tries to do damage to Mitzi, but he just can't chunk through that armor stacking. Spaylox forced to Flash out of there. Now Tabuno backing away as well. Matroko actually dropping down pretty low himself, but Thresh is just a monster in front of him.
Yeah, Thresh is really hard to deal with. And
Oh, and
I
actually
don't know.
top lane, we're going to see JWoww actually go back in there. It's
wow.
amazing. Throws down the Ghost, gets the pull back in there. The slow goes down as well. Will we actually see the Darius ultimate able to pick up the kill? He's got double dots on him with Ignite and the passive in that hemorrhage, and it will go down. A little bit of a lag spike there apparently, but still enough to pick up the kill. Makes it 3-2 in favor of Peculiar Gaming.
Yeah, so they're going to be able to go for this tower right now. They'll probably not be able to pick it up. I don't know. Carbono is coming in. Nah, he's not even going to try to defend that. That's just going to die. The minion wave is gone though, so they're going to have to tank it up for a tiny bit.
Grulim in the bottom lane, though, is going to get onto Matroko. He's actually going to pop the barrier. Is that going to be enough to keep him alive? The Q, the ult does reach, and it will be enough to pick up another kill. There's going to be some battling going on around this dragon area. Sabuno and Velox. Sabuno actually out of mana. What the shield from that dark passage, able to prevent him from taking damage from Varus' piercing arrow. He's going to throw out on the hook and try to hook a little bit farther away. Mithy with the death sentence, actually a life sentence there, as instead of keeping him in jail for the rest of his life, it gets him back out to base.
I was going to make a joke about that, but I can't think of anything. Anyway, Dragon is going to be jumping in, is going to take Felix immediately, has to reset on the... No, actually doesn't have to reset on the jump as they go for Tabuna. Tabuna goes down as well. He would have had to reset if he had evolved his wings, but he didn't do that. He evolved his Spike Racks. Spike Racks? Is that seriously what... Okay. Today I learned. So, right now, double Brutalizer is going to be built by the Wizards. As you can see, they have double longsword on 2 of their champions. And with the double Black Cleaver, they're going to build out of that. They're going to be able to shred armor really quickly, which is not only nice for them, but also very nice for Matroko, who is going to be able to do massive damage with that as well. And because of that armor shred, their poke, which is the main component of Wizards comp, is going to get even stronger.
One of the most impressive
They go for red.
Kha'Zix builds. Sorry, I just wow, you were cutting out there a second for me, but I think it's back to being okay, so no worries. One of the most impressive Kha'Zix builds I've ever seen was the all longswords build, where you buy a longsword and then you follow it up by buying more longswords. And I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen in a somewhat delayed fashion here for Kha'Zix, because he has the 2 for brutalizers. He's going to get another one for Muramana. Another one for the Last Whisper, should he decide to go for this. Speaking of going for it, we're going to see JWoww get beset on all sides. Cocoon actually lands there. Amazing, though, comes in from behind. Can he turn this around? The Death Mark goes down, so does the Repel. That's going to get at least out of here, but Tesla has a little bit of something to prove for himself. He's going to take a little bit more damage with a nice Shadow Dash over the wall. Carbone's going to take a lot of damage. The Shadow
Slam
Dash
dunk!
will it be enough to pick up the damage? Grulim over the wall. Goes on a rampage, taking down Elise.
That could have been a double slam dunk if they were in range, but they weren't. Still, they both died, and that was really well done by Amazing and JWoww. As someone is getting low, huh?
Yeah, I think
I don't know.
the someone getting low is actually just JWoww. He's pretty low no matter how you want to count it, but Amazing up there, top lane, and Grulim. They're going to look to take down the secondary turret, and Dragon, I don't even think he can try to contest this. It's going down so low. They can just tank this up. Grulim, though, decides to dish out some harassment and be forced to back out of there, blocks a little bit of that damage with his shield, and overall the top turret stays alive, but PG, even though they're down in gold, definitely having some plays here. This Grulim kid definitely knows what's up.
Yeah, he's doing really well this game, and he did force a ban of the enemy team. So, I mean, that is a testament to how well he played at...
He forced a Zac ban.
yeah,
That's
he forced
tough
a
to do.
Zac ban. That's, I mean, that's pretty nice. But yeah, they didn't tank that tower because Dragon would come in there and he'd probably have isolation. Unless they stayed right next to each other, in which case you could just jump on them and W and easily hit them both. So it wasn't really worth tanking the tower while they were getting bashed by Kha'Zix. So I think that it was the best choice to get out of there. Right now JWoww going to be moved towards the top lane. Dragon is there. He is aware of this though, because there's a ward in this brush. And JWoww not going to be caught by the bug.
Alright, so yeah, JWoww, I mean, I was watching him last game and he was actually pretty impressive. But keep in mind, first game, he definitely kind of got owned a little bit. So having some issues in the first game, brought it back in the second, and now back on Zed, just showing that, hey man, Zed's a pretty fair and balanced champion. So I gotta say, really looking to, I don't know, get a ton of, I don't know, pressure with that. When we actually saw a lot of that presence come top lane for Peculiar, made a lot of plays with him, so... I gotta say, with this double assassin sort of super dive composition, really started to power up. You got 4 kills on Diana, 1 on Zed, and that's actually gonna work out really well as the game progresses, because you'll notice with all these tiers, all these brutalizers, it's like, well, yeah, that's cool from a damage standpoint, but you're just gonna explode when they try to kill you.
Yeah, so right now, everyone's moving around. They're probably gonna be going for, I'd say the mid tower or the dragon when it respawns. I don't know, I feel like Wizards is in an advantage. I mean, they have a tiny gold advantage. They're actually a kill behind. But because they took that bot tower, they're actually in the lead, and they have been making most of the plays as Mickey takes a tower hit for no reason at all. But yeah.
I was going to try to land that death sentence. Didn't quite line that up enough, but with that Oracle, is going to be able to limit a lot of the ward coverage, which is going to give a lot more map control back over to Wizards.
Yeah, as I think about this actually, I mean, I just reconsidered it. I think that Wizards probably wants to keep farming a bit more. As soon as they get the mana immunes or the black cleavers, either of those 2 items for the Kha'Zix and the Jace, they'll be able to poke a lot more, and that's probably what they're trying to wait for. As we do see a pickaxe actually on Dragon. I don't know exactly what he's going to build that into.
It's definitely going to be a Last Whisper, going for a lot of armor penetration from that, but interesting to see him kind of...
a bit early for that? I mean, it's only 60 minutes into the game, and the enemy team has... The enemy team has ninja tabbies.
Yeah, he really needs Last Whisper instead of getting that Black Cleaver, because it's percentage based on it's percentage versus over time. And he's more of a burst champion, so he definitely wants that just straight up front penetration instead of sort of stacking that up with a lot of skills. I mean, it's going to be cool later on, but he just wants the flat penetration rather than the on hit. But actually forcing the flash over the wall there, Tabuno, man, he needed to get out of there and get out of there really fast. Matroko coming in there with the rest of Wizards. They got 5 men mid. Is there enough wave clear? Nice death sentence onto Amazing. Just wow, that was one dead Darius, and that's what happens when you have to be melee range.
The dunker got dunked.
Not exactly what you want to go for.
Dunker got dunked. Jace, I think it's Power Slam? He just like dunked him. Wait, let me check. To the skies!
To the skies, yeah. There's another
dunk.
Thresh landed on a JWoww. He gets Lulu ulted, so he's going to stay alive for now, but he goes back in with a death mark. Winds up being his own untimely demise, and gotta say, those death sentences are well named there, as Mithy definitely making the plays.
Yeah, Dragon just went, hey guys, you can't really go back to your inner tower, I'll probably kill you. And then, then Felix was like, I don't care, I wasn't Fnatic, I need you to walk past. He's like, okay. And then Tabuno was like, I can do it too! And then Dragon was like, no, and he killed him. I think that's exactly what went on in their psychic communication. As the mid tower is going to get pushed after that Dragon has been taken, that means they are currently 5k ahead, and with that tower they're going to be 5 and a bit k ahead. That was
I gotta say, when you look at the way we were talking about how the tiers made them weak early game, but it's starting to just make them ridiculously strong now that they have the AD to put behind it. Because when you look at sort of the Jace power slam or power shot, when you combine that up with the void spikes coming out from Dragon, it's just, oh my goodness, that is way too much damage to take. It's like 50% HP on basically everyone that doesn't have an armor item. And keep in mind, they took the armor off that Spirit of the Ancient Golem that Darius went ahead and picked up, so that is a little bit rough to deal with. So we're starting to get in here towards the mid game. It's 2-1 in turrets, and with the Dragon going the way of Wizards, you can see them start to get out there to their first 5,000 gold lead of the game. So definitely looking for PG to try to bring things back, and we've definitely seen them be able to do that before. The question is just, can they do it again?
Yeah, that is the biggest question. At the moment, there's a 5k difference still. They're pushing into that bot tower, but as soon as Matroka shows up, they're like, yeah, we can't really do this. Because Caitlyn has pretty decent wave clear, even if she's an AD carry. And she has the range as well, so she can just attack them in between clearing waves. Or, well, last hitting, mostly.
Jace actually just went back and straight up bought a Last Whisper just with that without having anything else. And so he went for that, whereas looks like Kha'Zix went for the BF sword route. And with the shutdown, okay, well, you can do that now. Now I know. Apparently, Last Whispers don't keep you alive any longer. JWoww doesn't keep you alive any longer either. It's just showing exactly how good that Zed assassination strength is. And yeah, Tesla definitely kind of feeling some of the pain. He was winning out that Zed versus Diana matchup earlier on in game 1. Now kind of, wishing he kind of had that Zed pick here again.
Yeah, Tabuno basically threw an ultimate onto Tesla as he was walking towards the mid tower, and then he just died. It was kind of sad. JWoww actually jumped to the tower and then jumped back to his shadow thing, and then he got away even, which he got quite low actually, but he still survived and he picked up Tesla, which is a pretty nice pickup. So we actually see a BF sword on our most beloved bug called Dragon or Kha'Zix, which is interesting because now he's got the components of about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items, 6 items if you count boats. He's got the components of 6 items and he's building none of them, which is interesting.
Well, when you keep in mind, Giant's Belt and BF Sword are both pretty costly items, so if you go back with that amount of gold, it's a pretty nice idea to just go back and grab them out when you can. JWoww's standing there. Tabuno's trying to bait out Kha'Zix. He's a little bit too smart for that, not going to quite go for that immediately, at least not for now. JWoww, though, going to walk around the side. They definitely smell blood in the water here, or dragon in the water, as it were. There we go. We're going to see him actually jump in, and right as he goes in for the all-in, he's going to turn invisible, and immediately JWoww going to go in onto this, throws down the Ignite with the Death Mark, rocking it will be enough to pick up the kill. Makes it 8-9 for PG.
Yes, so right now they have closed the gold gap by 1,000 gold, which is quite significant. They're still trying to push down that bot tower. They really want to take that, and rightly so. I mean, it's a very important tower to take, but it's not quite working out for them because every time they get close, someone from Wizard comes in to kill them because, wow, the damage from Tesla is insane, and he does pick up the kill. Almost goes down, but is able to pick up the double buff, as well as a nice 300 gold. As the tower in the top lane goes down, Wizards definitely doing a better job of pushing. They're 3-1 in towers right now, and that not only gives them a gold advantage, but it also gives them a map control advantage.
Yeah, you'll notice that Elise actually went for an Elysia's Torment before any tanky items, so she's about as squishy as it gets, and squishiness is pretty much the name of the game for pretty much everyone on the team for Wizards. They're going to go down immediately if they get beset by either one of these assassins. Darius also going to have a pretty nice time with them as well. JWoww without his ult up doesn't really want to fight Carbono at the moment, but I gotta say, it's all about sort of the tankiness. If you can get Amazing to get so tanky that he can't get taken down by either Dragon or Jace, then that's going to make it a really rough job for Wizards to get past him, because he's just going to be in there dealing a million damage, while the assassins just dish out, well, basically the same thing right back at you. And let's just put it this way, Wizards are going to die a lot faster than PG. Although I will say in that bottom lane fight, It was more damage. Damage was what mattered, and it looks like Amazing gonna try to kill off Carbono as he goes in onto JWoww. JWoww's fighting with his shadow. Amazing gonna get the dunk. There's one dunk. Can he get a second? Gets knocked back away as Tesla tries to get the second kill with a nice acceleration gate. JWoww will be able to get out for now unless he decides to go in like a monster. Gets a nice little slowdown there. Will he be able to get it down? No. Dragon actually gonna jump in onto Tabuno in the bottom lane once again. The flash from Tabuno actually gets the stun off as well. Throws down a nice Q, but it's just not going to be enough. Dragon picks up a kill.
Yeah, so that's going to put him at a nice 3-2-4 with a 193. Well, he's going up, but he's going to break 200 after one more CS, and he is going to be the first one in the game to do that. That means he is quite a rich bug. He actually is at 8.6k. He's now going to spend his 1200 gold, and he gets home guard boots, and we see someone going low. Oh, it's the poke from Tesla onto which JWoww. He actually gets him super low. Is he going to get it there in time though? JWoww is quite mobile and is going to be able to get away.
Man, that 50 HP, that's like if you ever include like HP runes in your rune pages, just like, yes, that is that one rune that I put in there that's totally paying off. Dragon's actually going to go down here again to Wizards, so they're going to pick up a ton of global gold, not only from that, but from consistently picking up dragons, picking up turrets. That's 3 turrets and 2 dragons.
Oh, no! Okay. Aw. Tesla didn't go for it. JWoww was like, Topi's like, threw out his shadow to clear the wave. I was like, don't go in, man, you're gonna die. But he didn't go in. And Tesla actually continued recalling. Even though he could have probably killed him with Acceleration Gate plus Shock Blast. But it was a bit hard to hit. In the meantime, in the bot lane, we see Dragon.
Yeah, it's going to be Assassin versus Assassin. We were talking about the squishiness versus tankiness, and it's going to be Gruelum all the time. Goes in, picks up the kill with his shield. Just kind of like charges him over like I don't know, definitely kind of a drive-by down there, but Gruelum just shows what happens when you mix in some tankiness with some damage. Definitely going to win out over just the straight damage route, even though there was a Giant Spell, but a nice Death Sentence onto Tabuno. He's going to explode, as now Matroko left to dish out all the damage in the back. JWoww wants to come in after the fight started for a little bit, but bottom lane is going to be Tesla versus Gruelum. I'm definitely thinking Gruelum's going to lose out on this one, and yeah, doesn't even try to hit the Zhonya's to survive. Don't really think that would have made a difference in that fight, but we've seen a whole lot of missed Zhonyas over the course of these games, so really can't fault him too much for that.
No, and right now Wizards are going to be pushing into that mid lane as well as that bot lane. The JWoww is currently in top lane, so he will not be close enough to defend this, and that's going to be an easy inner turret in the mid lane. Great turret to pick up, and now they're going to go for the inner bot turret. Those are the 2 best inner turrets to grab, even not the 2 best turrets in the game to grab. So now they're going to be going for that, and if they're going to be able to, I don't know if they're going to be able to grab it actually, because they're not 5. Tesla's quite low health and mana. Dragon wasn't even close, and yeah, they're going to just back off. Bit too dangerous to go for that, as my dog is barking again. I don't know what's going into her today. As Felix gets exploded!
Oh my goodness, Felix actually going to get beset here by Dragon. Throws down a nice slow and will be able to walk back away, so that is no more ultimate there for Kha'Zix. And keep in mind, Lulu didn't have her wild growth available. Actually, flash out from Kha'Zix too as JWoww comes into position. So really going to say, loving some of the plays I'm seeing here by JWoww. He's doing really well for his team. Blue buff going to go over to Grutham, and I got to say, or Gruelum. There we go. I thought there was a T instead of an L for a second. I was like, have I been pronouncing this wrong the entire time? Not quite. So yeah. We got 10 to 14. Things starting to even up. The gold count is still significantly different, about a 7 to 8,000, depending on how the CS works out. But I gotta say, I have no idea what's working at what's going on here. You're seeing Caitlyn build a little bit like a Misfortune, going for just all damage, no attack speed. So when she hits, it's gonna hit hard, but won't actually have any like consistent DPS.
Yeah, there's not going to be any crits, and that could be a bit of a problem. On the other hand, because they're playing that ball comp, you kind of want to get just flat damage. And the lifesteal is really nice as well, because they're going to be mostly poking. If there is any poke back on her, the lifesteal is going to help quite a lot.
All right, well, we're seeing, as far as poke is concerned, yeah, that's going to be probably the name of the game, just looking for massive amounts of damage coming out from those Piltover Peacemakers, as well as, you know, the poke coming out from Kha'Zix and Jace that we all know and love, and then just trying to land as many pulls as they can, because those death sentences for Mithy have been working out so well for Wizards so far. He even has that nice Oracle's Elixir. Jace actually able to take down the secondary turret, while the rest of Wizards push down the middle lane. Gotta say, the split push is starting to look kind of OP as they, take down the secondary bottom turrets, 5-1 in turrets, so they've definitely been doing a great job of that, not just right now, but over the course of the entire game.
You just say split pushing is starting to look OP. Have you even watched EU LCS?
I mean, I'm just saying it's working pretty well now right now for Wizards, as Tesla just takes the bottom turret for free. The rest of his team very good at sort of like clearing out the waves, pushing them back in. So PG definitely have to respond to that. They just responded to it a little bit too much and let their bottom turret fall.
Yeah, so right now they do have both the bot towers down, so that slow push can go on. And well, as you can see here, this wave is in the bot lane right now. Grulum has to take it out. This is the point where Wizards could go for Baron if they were in position.
Now,
that's
Jason's
exactly
going to
why
alternate
both towers
top lane, so put himself in a little bit of a better position for Baron. Because keep in mind, he is completely ridiculously stacked, 7-3-1. No one can really 1v1 him right now, except maybe Diana. That'd be a really tall order for her. So I just gotta say, looking like, I don't know, Wizards making a strong play for Baron in the near future. They do have that Oracle's on to Thresh, so he's going to be able to clear that out. But Troko just picked up a red buff, and they are definitely starting to power up. The Tesla trying to make a stab up here in the top lane, throws down Acceleration Gate, doesn't want to chase JWoww. And it's probably a good thing, because Amazing's there as well.
And they're actually going to go in on towards Tesla, but Amazing couldn't get past the wall quick enough. Tesla's going to bash him away and try to keep going. He is going to be able to get away together with the Lantern. That's another reason that Thresh is just stupidly strong.
I was going to say, between the Acceleration Gate on Jace, he was able to just like power through there and then grab the Lantern, and all of a sudden he's like 6,000 range away. It's like, oh, I did not realize that was physically possible. But
yeah, that's like 60 Teemos. It's ridiculous. And he even got past walls as well. Like, he didn't just like go in a straight line. He went all the way around Baron Pit in that amount of time. That's quite a bit of distance he covered there in a very short time. And as you can see, the slow push is actually going towards the Wizards, but they're going to pick up Grulum most likely. There's 3 people coming in. Grulum, is he going to make the big plays?
I don't know, he's going to try to go in there. Chunks down Carbono almost immediately. There's the Zhonya's finally, but he is 1v3. Does throw down the ultimate. The counter Zhonya's from Carbono. Man, that guy is a monster. Didn't really see that one coming, but and again, I guess neither did Grula. Middle turret will fall. Will JWoww actually go in on this? Probably not, as just making use of the presence, drawing 3 members bottom. I mean, it was sure it meant that Grulum did die, but they traded a middle turret off of it, so now 3-5 in turrets. The only problem is Wizards will pick up their 4th dragon of the game, 3rd dragon.
Yeah, and not only did they pick up mid tower, the bottom tower died anyway. So they actually picked up 2 towers there in exchange for a kill and a dragon. If that's worth it, that's debatable. They kind of want to go for dragon. I don't know what Amazing is doing. That wall was a bit too big to pull over. That's
just
not quite
slightly.
Just slightly way too big. But yeah,
right, but that is going to increase the gold to like a 9,000 gold difference. So, starting to get up there on that 10k mark that people love to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, the 10k mark is a pretty interesting mark, because then they are so far ahead that it went into a 10 thing. I don't know the English word for this. I will look this up after the game. In any case, we see lots of wards getting bought at the moment by Wizards. They really want to get vision all over the map. They need their crystal sphere. Wait, what? Huh? Crystal ball. There we go. I don't even know, man. But they're Wizards, so they have crystal balls, and they want to keep them working with some wards all over the map. And Gruflum gonna be picking up a blue buff, but is gonna be walking away. Or Gruflum? I don't even know where I'm getting this T from. In any case, Wizards are going to be going for that mid inhibitor turret, and they do take it down. That is huge, because now the inhibitor is open. If they win a team fight, they will be able to take down the inhibitor, and inhibitors are the most important buildings in the game. Except for maybe the Nexus turret. or the Nexus
Yeah,
itself.
well, I was going to say Nexus being the most important building in the game, but I got to say, look at what we're starting to see here. I mean, Dragon just completed his Muramana, or his Muramana. We got that completed on Jace a while ago. We're going to start to see Black Cleavers get completed. Already have that Eye Edge, Bloodthirster, Last Whisper, Holy Trinity on Kaelin. The damage coming out from Wizards is it's just ridiculous. There's no way you're going to be able to tank through all of that. Even though Darius is definitely giving it his best shot, but with no Aegis of the Legion either, that is also going to make it pretty difficult to defend through this. I mean, pretty much the Dragon gets one free reset off of Phalanx no matter what happens, because it's at least 70% of his HP from just the initial burst combo.
Yeah, Felix is definitely not going to be the Yordle that lived, and he's just going to die instantly if Dragon jumps on him, as they put down a ward. And in the meantime, Felix actually gets low just to the poke of Tesla. It is quite ridiculous. I had something I wanted to mention, but I just forgot, so never mind. Oh, actually, the ultimate comes out from Tabuna. They're going to be going for Tesla. Tesla is going very, very low and will be going down. Electric amount of damage as they go for Matroka. Matroka goes very low as well. Slam Dunk comes out. And that's going to be another kill. Now they're going to go for Baron, because they're in a 5 versus 3.
Yeah, remember what I was talking about damage being great and everything, but if you get caught, you die instantly, especially with these assassins and dive compositions coming out from PG. That's basically, I don't know, generous as far as the time it's spent for Tesla and Morocco to die. I mean, keep in mind, Carbona's still going to be able to make a pretty decent steal attempt here, but you got Gorilla actually going over the wall. I'm pretty sure he just like walked over there. I don't know, that was pretty interesting to see. The blue team does pick up the Dragon. That will be Darius going to go ahead and take that away from them, but with another kill picked up after that, that's just like 1, 2, 3 kills and a Baron actually. So that will bring it back to under 5,000 gold. So gotta say, there's a pretty big power play made there by Peculiar.
Yeah, they just caught out 2 people and they snowballed into a Baron and another kill, because Carbona was like, I'm just gonna go try and steal this. The thing is, like, this is one of those plays where if it had worked, it would have been awesome. We'd just be like, oh my god, Carbono, best player, please sign my hands and things. But you know, it was, I don't even know where I was going with that. But yeah, he'd be like the best player ever, but it didn't work out, so it was kind of derpy, unfortunately. Too much CC, I guess.
Yeah, and you'll actually see a Randuin's Omen.
Awkward. You're just like, oh, he's being a bit awkward, let's just say nothing and make the season even more awkward.
Well, I was just like looking there, and I'm like, okay, well, what else is there to say? We have crazy amounts of armor starting to come out for Diana. You got that Randuin's Omen on top of a Zanya's Hourglass already completed, whereas now we're going to see another Randuin's completed onto Darius here in the near future. So they figured out the secret to beating this team composition is to build ridiculous butt tons of armor, and that's exactly what they're going to do. They know there's a lot of armor penetration, so that's going to be a little bit rough to get through. But hey, man, building armor versus an all-AD team still relatively effective.
Yeah, I mean, the armor reduction, armor penetration makes it a lot less effective, but it's not going to stop it from being effective. And Randuin's is actually, oh my god, the full on towards Sabuno, and he is going to go down. Dragon going to get the first kill. Now they're going to go for Goofloom. Goofloom actually using his Soyas as well as Carbono at the exact same time. Now they're going to go for Goofloom. Goofloom going very, very low. And it's going to jump on Carbono, but not going to quite take him down. And that's 2 people with a Baron buff dead. That was one of the best death sentences in the game. In this game.
Now, it's going to be hard to run from this because there is that acceleration gate. Will we actually see these death sentences land, or will it be amazing getting away? Yes, he will. Zed's going to have to come back from that top lane. JWoww still with his double Doran's blades.
And they are going to be able to pick him up. That was amazing.
I don't even know what I'm watching anymore. Man, that Thresh is good. 1-0 and 7. I don't know. I hear Edward may be out of a job here in a little bit. I don't know, but
basically what happened is that Tesla had this acceleration gate, which made Miffy able to get in range. And because Tesla threw out his shock blast as well through the gate, Amazing tried to dodge and just got hooked. Oh my god, the trap is too strong as JWoww goes very low and will be going down.
Yeah, Deathmark is out there, but it basically doesn't even hit through the Thresh shield because there was no follow-up damage. Just well, we saw a couple of members of Wizards get caught out that gave Peculiar away the Baron, and now it's just the same thing happening right back to Peculiar. They're just getting caught out one by one and throwing the advantage right back. So that is that's a little bit rough to deal with, but you can see this Dragon basically just getting 5-shot, and that's going to be another Dragon away for Wizards.
Yeah, so Wizards definitely pulling back after that small mistake. Honestly, I mean, they've been winning this game for the most part. They just had that small derp which lost them a Baron as well. But now they definitely pulled it back, and Felix, not actually getting that low. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be.
Or was it?
Or was it? Find out in the next episode. Not. Goodbye. No,
but it is still 4v5, so for the time being, Wizards, you know, as if they weren't strong enough already, now we're going to see some attack speed picked up on Caitlyn, finally grabbing that Phantom Dancer. She is 100% offense-oriented, whereas I guess so is Varus. The only difference is that there's just... Look at Elise. There's 0 tanky items on her, unless you want to count that Zonya's Hourglass. I gotta say, not used to seeing Elise's build quite that much damage, but if you can keep the carries in the back and alive while they're forced to chunk through like Amazing and Gruulum, they're definitely gonna have a pretty good shot for Peculiar.
Yeah, and I mean, he's got the Liandry Stormwind as well, so he's got some extra health as well. It's not like he's just like full-on squishy. He's pretty squishy though, and they do grab Amazing, but they're not gonna really make.
Yeah,
awesome
it's more of a proof of concept. He's like, well, if I needed to, I could do this. But there's going to be actually an initiation there by Gruul. I'm going to hit the Zonyas while he is very low. The box goes down, throws out the Randuins, but it's just not enough. It's now Tabuno actually dropping down really, really low. There's the Caitlyn ultimate, counted out a little bit, but Tabuno's still way too low to do anything. There is the burn, but the shield comes out from Lulu. The shock blast from Jace, able to finish out the kill.
So that's going to be another kill for the Wizards, and Goofroom actually ulted in towards the death sentence. That was not planned, but it was quite unfortunate. And Wizards going to be able to pick up a turret, going to be able to pick up another inhibitor. These super minions are going to be a huge problem for PG. They're going to be able to defend that, but they're not going to really be able to move out of base, which means that Wizards can just take other things as they go for Felix. Felix goes very low, but will not be able to go down. Has to flash away though. So Wizards just pushing in the waves.
Going on there. I mean, Gruulum just kind of went in without the rest of his team. Varus failed his ultimate, so a little bit rough to watch there. And it just feels like one right after another. There's actually, the shadow, or living shadow by his head over the wall. Not quite able to stop Dragon from backing.
And he just went back to base and bought an elixir. And that's all he could buy, because he's got all his slots filled out. So what do you think that Giant Spell is going to build into? Because that's the only one I'm not clear on this Kha'Zix build.
Probably just going to be a Randuin's or a Warmog's armor. I mean, it could be like Frozen Mallet, but I don't know. It's not really that big a deal. He just basically wants tons and tons of HP. So I think Randuin's, because he is going to wind up taking, sooner or later, taking a lot of attack damage from both Darius and Varus. Various, if you will. But oh my goodness, middle or bottom, we're gonna see Dragon versus Gruulum. There is gonna be the Randuin's flash over the wall from Dragon. Counter flash there by Gruulum. Actually finds him out with the Q. Jumps back in with the ult. He is isolated, and the jump reset is gonna get him out. A nice acceleration gate. I'm not actually sure that hit Dragon, but he was able to just jump out, get away there. So double flash is burned, but Gruulum does not actually pick up a kill.
One thing to note, I only just realized, is Tesla has 6 items. Like, he's got all of his items. He only needs to buy elixirs and then he's like fully built. This is quite ridiculous. I mean, it's only 40 minutes into the game. You're not supposed to be that far into your build. What is this? So, yeah.
40 minutes. I mean, he is 9, 4, and 5 with 300 CS, so that's definitely
True. He's got a healthy amount of gold. Or unhealthy for the other team. He's at 16k at the moment, and they're going to be going for Baron. And this is what I was talking about. With the inhibitors down, they just have map control, and they're able to take the Baron for free, because PG can't really get that far out of their base without encountering minions. So Wizards now going to be Shureliasing in towards Gruulum. Not going to be quite able to pick him up though, and Miffy just going to be, or Miffy? Actually don't know. But he's going to be putting down some wards. Has that Oracles is going to clear enemy wards so that he can hook over the wall. And almost hit Tsubo now. That would have been a sure death for him. As they do poke out and go for this inhibitor. This is what they want to do. They want to push, they want to poke. That's what their team comp is built around. And now they're going to be pushing towards that bot tower. As you can see, the lane is pushing because those inhibitors are down. The wave in the non-inhibitor down lane is also going to get stronger. And
the pullback in by Darius onto Carbono. He's gonna throw down the Zonias and then try to get the repel up after that. Box goes down as well. Tabuno's actually the one to pick up the kill. It's gonna be not only Carbono going down, but Mithy as well. Amazing actually has to back out of there. Does get Lulu ulted to save his life. But it's a couple of picks right off the bat. This is so back and forth. You're going to see the poke composition come once again right back in. The damage from Jace right now is not fair. Like, there's nothing that is balanced about that. But hey, you should be a little bit unbalanced if you're 9, 4, and 5. Actually, now we're going to see JWoww trying to go in there. The flash away to dodge. What? That death mark. What on earth was that?
That was a little damage coming out from the death mark. Now they're going to be going for Matroko. Matroko going to be able to survive with his EQ combo. Only needed the E, obviously, but still, it's nice to get the extra Q out as well. In the meantime, Grulim is defending the base, having a bit of trouble with that. I mean, I think that basically if the Wizards are able, or would have been able to take down the inhibitor, the bottom inhibitor, that would have been pretty much GG, because Peculiar Gaming can't defend against 6 super minions per wave, especially not if Wizards, like, poke around. They don't even have to, like, go in and kill, they can just, like, poke around. With 6 super minions per wave coming in, that is impossible to defend. So
yeah, but keep in mind, because we do have like level 18 Kha'Zix, he does get a little bit of extra tankiness. He can build like full damage and then still survive because he does have 40% damage reduction while he's stealthed in his ultimate. So may actually see him go for a little bit of that, but I don't know, if he had done that in the last situation, he would have actually survived the death mark. So that's
it's
sure
actually
why.
not true. He didn't evolve it.
He didn't evolve it. I actually didn't take a look and check that out, but he did.
He
did get enlarged claws.
So his Q is gonna do a lot more damage. It's gonna make sure. Wait, what was it? I can't remember what it exactly does. Oh yeah, increases damage to isolated targets by 12% of their missing HP, and it increases the range of Taste Their Fear and his basic attacks by 50. So he's gonna have a slightly longer attack range, which is actually quite significant on melee characters. But yeah,
I mean, it is pretty
normally
cool,
you
but
see them use their ultimate.
Kha'Zix is not going to be auto-attacking a lot. He's going to get...
What?
He
Oh,
actually...
wow.
Well, there's a Randuin's.
He wanted to turn on or off his Mirror Mana, and he accidentally used his Randuin's. That is kind of unfortunate.
Well, that's unfortunate, yeah. But I don't think it's actually going to be that big a deal, especially since he's primarily a damage dealer, and the Randuin's just there for defense anyway.
Yeah, it's mostly to make sure that if he gets attacked, they're going to get slowed, and their attack speed is going to be a bit lower, which is actually very strong. I mean, it used to be a chance thing, now it's guaranteed slow with attack speed and movement speed. That is pretty huge. Random is a really strong item at the moment. And Peculiar Gaming Shroyas, they want to go in, but Wizards were able to walk away in time as our dear Mr. Tesla is pushing in the top lane. Not going to be quite able to take down that inhibitor for now though. Wizards still hang around the bot lane. They want to take down the tower, because if they take down the tower, there are no towers in except for the Nexus towers, and that gives them a huge advantage for pushing into the space. And as I said before, they really want an inhibitor. Like, that inhibitor will win them the game.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why we're going to send JWoww versus Tesla. It's all about that poke. If it continues to land for Tesla, then it's just over. But JWoww knows that he can one-shot Tesla as long as he doesn't get knocked back away. Bottom lane, the push comes in as well. Look at that nice line of traps coming out there from Matroko. Man, I can't remember all of these names. There's Matroko, Tabuno. There's one more, Carbono. Yeah, so I don't know exactly what's up. A nice hook landing in there onto Amazing. Doesn't actually do any damage, but I gotta say, it's looking really rough. As looks like Wizards continuing to poke back in there as Tesla just kind of walks back and forth, kind of baiting out Zed, wanting him to come fight him.
Yeah, they're now going to try to tank up this tower for a tiny bit. Actually, Vera's ultimate comes down, but it misses. Great 90 caliber net by Matroko. That just saved them the game, because if that had hit, that could have been really bad for Wizards. That was a great E. And
yeah, keep in mind, at this point in the game, we're going to see like 60, 70 second death timers. So,
oh, wow. He was clearly disconnected. That one.
Yeah,
anyway.
Matroko goes ahead and hits an insta-pause. Dragon disconnects. Apparently a little bit DC'd, which is unfortunate, but we'll see if this actually negatively impacts the game when he comes back. I can't imagine it positively impacting the game, so we'll see what happens when we resume.
I mean, they're so far ahead. They probably just have to regroup and go again. Their inner turrets are all still up. They can't really be pushed out, so it won't impact them too much. But yeah, it's kind of annoying, and it's kind of, I don't know. He stood still, and PG like threw spells at him, and they were like, "Oh, he's not moving. Let's just try again. Oh, he's still not moving. Oh, we could go for this." And then Wizard realized, "Oh, he is disconnected. We have to pause right now." So I mean, they could have probably noticed he was disconnected, but you can't really fault them for going for it because they didn't know for sure.
Yeah, I think that's a big point to make. It's not like they're just trying to scumbag him, but apparently, yeah, the pause time did get reset as long as the game progressed. So
now this is a new game. So this is third game.
Well, no, I mean like total aggregate pause time over the course of the grand finals that they're allowed to pause. I'm not sure if there's like a ruling on that, which is what I was commenting on.
Either.
Apparently,
Dude, stop for a second. I have to talk to someone. I'll be right
all right,
back.
sounds good to me. Well, when you look at what's actually going on right now, kind of read you guys a little bit of the in-game chat. Apparently, they're kind of discussing, what are we actually going to do? Are we going to unpause it and let him walk to base because he's DC'd? Are we just going to keep on playing with a 4v5? Not sure, because he actually has had some connection issues over the course of the game. And if you look at the way that things are building, he just built full damage. Like Elise is building full damage. There's Rabadon's death cap coming out from her next. She just doesn't know what defensive items are. Dragon, though, will just now, like you see on your screen, be reconnecting. So hopefully we'll be getting him back in here. So I don't know what's up. Apparently they're going to kill him and then give him a time to respawn without pushing. I don't know. Maybe they're going to give him the opportunity to run. We're about to find out when we get back into the game. 3, 2, 1, and Dragon will go down. Yeah, it does take the dunk from Amazing. I think we're going to give a little bit of a pause time. Say, hey, back off, maybe not do anything for now. Or is that going to be the case? I'm not exactly sure.
I don't know either. But I'm gonna have to. Oh wow, Tesla actually gets engaged upon. Will be going very low. Will be going down. Most likely Guardian actually pops for the first time, but he's pretty much dead.
Yeah, now it's just, can he land the shock blast to pick up the kill? There's a nice flash away from the cocoon. And that actually will wind up trading 1 for 1 as JWoww does finally wind up going down. Holy cow. That's a little bit rough to take care of. But Amazing still full HP in there. Has so much HP. Oh my goodness. This is a little bit rough to deal with. He's up at, what is that, 4,000 HP. He's like 44 HP away from 4K. So he is that tanky monster. He's not going to go down without a fight, but to be honest, if there's anybody that... Oh, you just did that, Caitlyn, didn't you? Wow. A second Phantom Dancer bought for Caitlyn.
So, for everyone that's watching, I have to kind of be quiet. So, Rapid will be taking this from now on as a solo cast. I hope you guys enjoyed my casting, and I'm sure you'll enjoy Rapid, because he is amazing. Cheers.
All right, well, with that, it would appear as if we are alone together, all of us, which is a little bit of an interesting definition of being alone. But you know what? We're alone together with esports and a couple of really great teams. It's 18-22. Keep in mind there was a huge skill differential earlier on. Not quite huge, but not quite just 4. And at 48 minutes into the game, I guess it doesn't really matter how close things are, because I gotta say, when you're looking at it's 3 to 8 in turrets, turrets are really what matter right now. Although Amazing actually getting choked down pretty decently by Caitlyn. We check out her attack speed right now. It's sitting at 1.8. So that is that's pretty scary, especially considering that her critical strike chance is actually at 85%. So that is crits on crits, and Phaloc's getting chunked down to about a third of his HP, thereby just one engorged Spiderling. And hey man, that's what happens when you build nothing but damage on Elise. So I don't know, I'm kind of wanting to watch some of the tanks here, either Gruulum or especially Amazing, see how fast they die, because when you build that much damage on Elise, just keep in mind she deals percentage damage, so based on your max HP. So that's actually going to deal a lot more to Amazing than I would have expected, especially since he built all armor against a team that has an extremely full offensive kit, AP carry there in Carbono, which you wouldn't have actually expected because he was in the jungle. So now that we're getting onto the late game, we're kind of starting to see the same build you'd expect out of like an AP carry. And the grab actually goes out onto Carbono, who goes up immediately, jumps over to the Wraith camp, but Matroko gonna go down there, taking so much damage, gets knocked up, and that will be Amazing, able to pick up the what? No, Matroko gets out towards the back of it. He will actually finally wind up going down, but there's a Zhonya's coming out from Grutham. He's in there 1v4 right now. He's flashing over the wall, but he can't actually get that off in time. There's gonna be the jump, tries to get the slow, but will be the Blade of the Ruin King coming out from Tabona. He's gonna be able to run away for now, but really, oh my goodness, there it actually is, but no, Carbono actually gets the... What is that damage? Lands the cocoon. I don't even know. Tabuno goes down. That's a 1-for-3 trade. And even though Morocco did finally fall, I don't even know what I'm watching here. This is going to be crazy back and forth. This actually could be the end of the game with 60-second death timers on Tabuno. It will be Wizards taking down the middle inhibitor. They may actually rotate for the top while they wait for some minions. I actually think that you just walk in there. Tesla's actually decently tanky right now. And with JWoww, only JWoww to defend, and Phalox for a little bit of backup, they're just going to take down everything in the base that they possibly can. And I got to say, it is looking good for our friends from Wizards. JWoww actually just walks in and gets completely destroyed, turns things around, and with the nice... I have never seen that. The Whimsy coming out from Phalox. I was like, well, you know, JWoww's the damage and Phalox is just there for support. That Whimsy was so huge when you consider that the lifetime for champions is like an average of 0. Oh my goodness, Carbono actually gonna get taken down. Oh my goodness, Mythy goes down as well. A double kill for Zed actually just by walking outside of his turret, outside of his base. There's 360-second... 360-second death timers now on to Wizards. It's all about how fast PG can run up the middle lane. Granted, they have a few turrets to get through, and they may be able to take an inhibitor for this. You can see Kha'Zix actually splitting top lane to make sure he has a safe place to go back, but they know exactly where he is. I'm pretty sure they're just going to check this bush. No, he gets out alive. Okay, so Dragon's safer now. So is Morocco. Or, yeah, I just got to say... It's all about how much damage they can deal right here. This is their gift. I mean, they were able to steal away Baron a few, or not steal it away, but get some picks that led to Baron earlier on in that second game. But I gotta say, it's just, I have to say a lot of things. That's why I say I gotta say a lot. But I will work on not saying that anymore. It's difficult when you're like solo casting things, because then you're like, well, let me just hand off to my co-caster who is also myself. And this will also be another Baron buff picked up here for PG. The problem is that Baron buff makes you stronger as a team, but you're going to have to contend against 2 inhibitors being down, only 1 inhibitor and inhibitor turret left alive for Peculiar. So their defenses are, that's going to be really rough. So really having to check out exactly how they're going to get that taken care of, because when you look at the teams, Wizards are extremely strong. That's my expert analysis of the situation. We're 52 minutes into the game, and one of the teams is strong. And if they weren't by this point, something would have been wrong. But this is some crazy late game. I mean, these items are nothing that you would ever expect to be finally completed. Varus, for his defensive item, did pick up a Frozen Mallet. So that is... I mean, it's kind of going to be like the Randuin's Omen, and to be honest, I would have liked to see a Randuin's Omen instead, because he's going to be taking all physical damage, and the Frozen Mallet's pretty cool. It's just a little bit interesting. Caitlyn, though, actually did sell one of her Phantom Dancers for another Frozen Mallet. So when you're selling whole legendary items to buy new legendary items, it's kind of like, I can just change out this item. It's like... I don't know. I'm trying to think of like a customizable toy, like a Transformer maybe, but one with accessories. I'm not sure any of these champions are made by Mattel, but I guess you'd only get that reference if you were from the United States. Man, that sucks. But without C-Zone here to, I don't know, make Dutch references, I'm admittedly slightly biased. Acer... I almost said Acer as the team, but Acer's amazing there with the rest of Peculiar Gaming, trying to push out the top lane. And this is what I was talking about. The defense here is going to be sort of the name of the game. If Peculiar can keep defending until their inhibitors respawn, then they can walk out, one-shot everybody, and pick up the kills that they need to turn the game around. but they're 6,000 gold behind, which doesn't actually matter right now. So I'm going to stop mentioning gold counts, stop mentioning, I think turret counts are still pretty relevant because they've only managed to take down 4 turrets. That's 2 in the top lane, and then the outer turrets in mid and bottom as well. So it's really, like I said, about the defense, but Wizards knows that, so they're just going to kind of play it passively, play it safely for now, and just push in gradually along with their minions, trying to get the waves pushing in there so that the rest of Peculiar have to deal with this, and then just wait outside their base to kind of ambush them just a little bit. I literally just stopped talking because I expected a co-caster to take over. Ugh. The good old days. I used to solo cast a lot when I was just doing this on my own, but you know, co-casting is pretty cool too, especially when you have nice people like C-Zone to, you know, stream these nice things for us. But as we watch and wait, it's going to be either like Death Sentence, Kha'Zix initiates, some nice poke damage finally sticks. I don't even know what we're looking for. It's just going to be both teams kind of running at one another samurai style. This is the last inhibitor turret left alive, and you got to keep in mind with JWoww top lane, it's going to be up to him to sort of push things out, come bottom, push things out middle lane, come bottom. And if he can't do that enough, it's going to be really rough to defend this. But I gotta say, the pushing really strong as now blue inhibitors are starting to respawn for Peculiar Gaming. If they get this top inhibitor back up, this is actually going to be pretty decent, and there it goes. Both inhibitors now respawn, or rather all 3 now alive for Peculiar. Are they going to push out, or are they going to make Wizards come to them? I don't know, but breathing is something that is necessary. There we go. To surviving, so I'm actually going to take a little bit of a break to get that taken care of. And to take a brilliant drink of water, because that is also pretty necessary for survival. If you look at these OP support builds, you're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green wards picked up there by Thresh. So he's just looking to ward up the entire world. Oh my goodness, this is a little bit rough, but nothing quite so egregious. Coming out from Lulu, she does still have a gold for 5. That actually could be a little bit. Diana, though, to check out what her last item is going to be. She has both needlessly large rod items right now, so could actually be looking for a Deathfire's Grasp to come here in the near future. Kind of thinking towards what we're looking towards from Lulu. Actually, yeah, did just now complete that Twin Shadows, so no gold for 5s just yet. Some final buys coming out here for Peculiar Gaming. I gotta say, with this last buy, this is pretty much their last-ditch effort. This is last final endgame builds for both teams. It's all going to be about the engagement. When you look at the damage we were starting to see early on from the guys on Wizards, we said, hey, they're going to build a lot of damage, which means they can get taken out easily. But now that they all have their defensive items, you can see even Azania's Hourglass completed along with that Giant's Belt for Elise. She's not really going to go down that quickly, so the WTF damage that we've been seeing all game long from Wizards is going to stick around for a while. So it's going to be about, can the tanks actually do the tanking? And I am skeptical about that because of so much damage from so many different sources coming out from Wizards. It's just like, I mean, Amazing is pretty tanky. Lulu has a lot of defensive options in her kit as well as, you know, like a nice Zanya's from Gruulum and Deathmark coming out from Zed to avoid some damage. But I don't know, when something dies, it's going to die way too fast for me to talk about it. So hopefully we can figure out what on earth is going out there. So, or is going down during the next team fight, because this is the boring phase of the game. This is the phase where we get to cast the game like golf. Or, I don't know if there's like a quintessential other sport that is cast like golf, but you're just talking about the champions inside their bases, building items very calmly and very boringly, so nobody actually wants to listen to it like that. And we're seeing some more endgame items picked up, more Oracle's Elixirs, the Deathfire's Grasp now finally completed there by, I think it was Gruulum that picked that up, so it's going to be burst damage like you've never seen coming out from him. But keep in mind, there's no Locket of the Iron Solari or Runic Bulwark coming out from Wizards, so that's I don't know. Diana's definitely going to have a pretty decent job of just one-shotting somebody, but this is going to be the Baron buff. I think this is actually not quite so bad for Peculiar Gaming to be outside their base right now. Their inhibitors are respawned. Their turret's still down, though, so very vulnerable to being caught out of position and just pushed on to end the game. Because if it comes to a we can end the game situation, it's all going to be about this catch. Phalanx actually takes a little bit of poke with the initiation. It's going to be Shrelia's Twin Shadows coming out. That was their chance to catch, but crazy disengaged thanks to like jumps away from Dragon as well as the acceleration gate. This disengage is going to be way too hard for PG to deal with. They're going to have to fight a fight that lets Wizards come to them. If they can't do that, then they're going to have a really hard time catching them, and that is what it's going to be about. Can PG catch out Wizards? If the answer is yes, then they just die instantly. If PG wait for Wizards to come to them, though, this actually could be a pretty decent fight. Death Sentence thrown out there by Thresh, not quite enough. Amazing cut, oh my goodness, all around the other side of the mat of the wall actually. There comes in the box from Thresh. Zanya goes out from Grula. That's going to be half HP almost immediately, but taken down equally as quickly. It's going to be Tesla going up against Tabuno, and JWoww Tesla goes down. Will this be enough? Amazing comes in there. He's going to respawn. Will he have enough damage? Yes, no, maybe so. He will stay alive. I don't know how that works. I don't even, this is just real, way too real. You're kidding me. The Glitter Lance gave enough damage for the Hemorrhage stack to pick up the kill. That's a little bit ridiculous, but it's 2 down for both teams, and it's going to be like an attempted base race, but look at this minion wave bottom lane. I hope C-Zone can go ahead and show that to you guys. That is like 5-6 minion waves all at once, and now the guys from Wizards are going to back up and try again for this Baron buff. They're going to be actually able to take this down. It's 3 men alive. You gotta keep in mind, Tabuno without home guard boots, that's a little rough. At this stage, you definitely want home guard boots. The ability to run halfway across the map almost instantaneously, you really can't just like surrender that away. And speaking of surrender things away, Baron actually not taken down there. Enough pressure applied by Peculiar Gaming. I'm gonna take some breaks, guys, so don't worry. I used to do this all the time and realized that breathing actually slightly effective. Peculiar not going to be dumb enough to just start this Baron just by themselves, because they recognize as soon as anybody gets near them, it's just not going to be what they're looking for. But look at these waves, top and bottom. This is a little bit ridiculous, as now the tides have completely turned, well, almost completely turned. Wizards walking back to their own bases, but yeah, Peculiar cannot go near this Baron. Baron is going to be like the throw bot right now. If you go for Baron, you're either sacrificing your opportunity to win the game, and as I say that, look at Varus. He actually sold his boots for a Zephyr, so nothing quite the same for Caitlyn. She still does have those Home Guard Berserker Greaves, along with pretty standard 80 carry build. I gotta say, oh yeah, it was okay. Look at the Zanyas immediately from Carbone. She's like, wait a second, I don't want to get grabbed over that wall. That would not be a happy time for me. The only people allowed to be doing grabs right now are apparently Mithy. So yeah, the madness begins. Just back and forth around this Baron buff. I feel like I should make that a rhyme or something, but if you know anything about Americans, I don't know, at least myself, rapping, not really my strong point. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't be shoutcasting right now. But Wizards are going to start here onto this Baron. Holy cow, that's a lot of damage. Baron will evaporate almost immediately, and this is going to be the play. Theoretically, there is no way that Peculiar Gaming should be able to win this, so it will once again be about the catch. There's going to be amazing once again getting taken down. This slow comes out from the Randuin. He turns around, starts to try to DPS, but he gets taken down way too low, way too quickly, and now it's going to be about the death bar coming in from Zed. JWoww gets almost immediately dunked, but Tesla will go down as well. He does not have Guardian Angel anymore. Mitzi will fall there as 2. There's going to be a double kill comes out from Varus. It's 2 for 2 so far. Keep in mind, Caitlyn down to half HP. She's going to be able to heal up a lot off of the next wave, but holy cow, these fights happen so quickly. I am not necessarily prepared for this, but Grulim is definitely prepared to get in here onto Caitlyn. There is no way. Let's see how much damage that does. All right, about 200-300 damage. Grulim will take a little bit of damage coming out from Dragon. Does she have a Zanya's Hourglass? Yes, he does, but Carbono just right there able to capitalize. I'm a little bit confused why she was so far pushed out, and now it is 3v2 with only Varus left alive. So let's go ahead and actually take a look at Thresh's Souls. He's sitting at full 114 stack right now, but with the inhibitor going down, it's going to be a little bit ridiculous to try to defend this. Varus can't go anywhere near this. He cannot step outside his Nexus turrets. If he does, this is going to be way too easy to initiate on. There's one inhibitor down, two inhibitors down, bottom turret's still alive. So that's kind of their saving grace, and now the game has essentially been rewound about 10 minutes, an hour long so far, and I don't even know what comments to make about this. This is a little bit ridiculous. Wizards going to try to take away this red buff. They're just like, this is not even worth it. We're going to get Dragon because more gold is what we need at this point. Just nothing but oracles being bought right now because every single person in the game has as full a build as you could possibly want. Still no Ruby Sidestone though completed on a Lulu. I don't know. There's no more words I can say other than just oracles being bought, positioning being done, and myself being in need of a drink. So be right back. Give me like 2 seconds. And we're back. All right, apologies, but solo casting being what it is, this is getting a little bit ridiculous, especially since we're in such a stalemate right now. Lulu down to about half HP. She's going to have to play a little bit more carefully with a wall of wards being placed in front of this turret. I think the strategy is just to trick them into auto-attacking a ward instead of a champion. And I think at this point, wow, Tabuno getting taken down way below half HP. Now with Grutham getting chunked a little bit. Going to try to poke back, and on that, the turret will fall, and Wizards just slowly but surely pushing into the base. They have super minions coming in from top and middle, and I gotta say, Wizards looking strong to take down this game. They just have to make sure that they wind up with this inhibitor going down, because even if they all die right now, having that inhibitor down is going to be way too much to deal with. There's the attempted engage. The box comes down from Thresh. It's going to be Tabuno exploding immediately. Grutham will get taken down as well, but there's Thresh and Kha'Zix down for the side of Wizards. It's going to be amazing. Will he drop finally? Yes, he will. A double kill comes out from Jace. JWoww has to get back to base. He's going to try to heal up a little bit, waiting for those home guards. Does hit the home guards, comes right back out. Will he be able to do anything against anyone? No GG's. Come out from the side of Peculiar Gaming. They cannot defend any longer. The Nexus will fall. And at 66 minutes and 38 seconds, victory will finally be claimed by Wizards. Oh my goodness, this game is ridiculous, but what a better way to close out the finals. This is the Black Monster Cup, sponsored by Western Digital. 3,500 euros on the line, and Wizards will take home the win in the grand finals with 108.5 thousand gold to their name. I gotta say, I have had such an amazing time here, not only just casting this as C-Zone, but seeing some of the teams that may not get very well represented. I mean, right now it's LCS or Die, but it's nice to see not only Wizards, we saw Peculiar Gaming, ESC, Icy Box coming out earlier on as well. A lot of great teams, and hopefully you guys have enjoyed a lot of great League of Legends. So if you guys want to make sure to support our sponsors, Western Digital, also make sure to come back and support us if we do decide to do the Black Monster Cup once again. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Saw some great coverage being tweeted out there by Alex Ish and Into Walls, so make sure to thank them for letting you guys know about that too. Make sure to hit the follow button on this twitch.tv channel, because that'll let you know when we do go live with even more coverage like this. And I got to thank you guys once again for watching. If you did enjoy our coverage as far as our casting is concerned, you can check out C-Zone and myself on the fabulous interwebs. I am at Rapid Casting basically everywhere. C-Zone streams on this very channel, so make sure to hit the follow button there, as well as checking us out at blackmonstercup.com. A lot of great information there. If I'm forgetting some plugs, and I'm sure I am, I sincerely apologize, but after an hour and a half of casting this last game, at least it feels like that, I'm about ready to head out. So I want to thank you guys once again for watching. Thank the players for playing, the teams for competing, and the wonderful staff behind the Monster Cup behind the Black Monster Cup for setting